Today on CNBC-TV18. Now, General Catalyst has raised $8 billion to fund startups globally, and this is the largest fund raised by the U.S. venture capital group in over 2 years. Now, of the $8 billion, $4.5 billion is going to go towards seed and growth equity funds, and the rest to its creation strategy fund and separately managed accounts. This also marks the firm's 12th global fund and comes within 2 years of its previous one. For more on this mega fund, the investment thesis and the India strategy, I have with me Priya Mohan, who's partner at General Catalyst. Also with me is my colleague Arundhati. Priya, thank you very much for your time here on Startup Street. You know, venture capital has been sitting on this dry powder over the past couple of years after what was a period of rapid growth and soaring startup valuations. In this context, now take us through the investment thesis of this large $8 billion fund that you raised, the plans for deployment, and how you're trying to push beyond the traditional venture capital models.
Firstly, thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here. I think it's a very important question. It goes back to the genesis of VH merger with GC, which we also announced in June. And the primary reason and the excitement for this, and before we come to the dry powder part, is our ability to import this incredible platform that GC has created over the years, where they've truly been doing venture beyond and thinking about transforming industries, including creation, and how they've done that, for example, case in point, Livongo. And to be able to import that muscle memory into India in this more opportune time, like we believe that India is in the most inflection period ever, with its global geopolitical agency rising, with the kind of transformation that industries are looking to, equip themselves with, as you have displayed, defense, manufacturing. And I think there's no better time to invest and think long-term in India better than now.
So no time to invest in India better than now is what you're saying. Hi, Priya, Arundhati here. So, you were just talking about these sectors. There's also Hemant's blog, which talks about how General Catalyst believes this capital will turbocharge its investment theses across AI, defense and intelligence, climate and energy, industrials, healthcare and FinTech. So if you could tell us how you are identifying transformative opportunities within these industries and what advancements are you most excited to support at this point?
Arundhati, so I think it's very important to contextualize some of this to India. And the way I think about it is India for India and India for the globe. India is a very nuanced country. Any investor and any startup founder here, if you see the kind of industries and companies that have come out here, there are many examples where it's worked in India that's not worked anywhere else in the world. So it's very important, and I think GC understands this better than anybody, that you have to contextualize this for India. But at the same time, now that GC is a global firm, we have its recent acquisition of La Familia in Europe, which it merged with, and we have US. We have Europe, US, and India. To be able to step back and look at India in the corridor of US and Europe also gives us a great opportunity to reimagine some of these sectors. So while seed will remain at our core, and we will continue investing in that, which has been our muscle memory, we will continue to be part of transformational journeys of these companies across. And more importantly, double down on creation opportunities. To step back, think about manufacturing in India. And in this heightened geopolitical tension with wars, the importance of resilience that every country is adopting for itself. Resilience in its supply chains, resilience in production, resilience in kind of hyper-equipping its talent and transforming its talent. And in the same context for India, it'll apply in manufacturing, defense, AI. For example, Tortoise Index has rated India #2 in our AI talent. But what's holding us back is capital and compute. Imagine our ability to kind of equip this with the platform and our long-term thinking.
Well, Priya, just to zoom out and look at your position as a fund in the India market, General Catalyst globally has been pursuing growth through merging with local entities, and whether that is La Familia in Europe, and of course you're all too familiar with Venture Highway in India. And this is coming at a time when you have rivals like Sequoia, GGV Capital decoupling from businesses in India and China. So what sort of strategic advantage does this Venture Highway merger give GC versus some of its peers here?
I think, again, it goes back to the thesis. The very fact we are looking venture beyond is not an apples to apples comparison with true venture capital thinking, right? and which has its own boundary conditions and its own set of rules that has been happening for the last many years. Again, going back to what I said with this, the purpose of this merger is to be able to get this kind of canvas, which offers multiple products and multiple solutions in helping founders transform industries and also manufacturing some of these ourselves with the creation fund. If you look at GC today, we have the core investing and seed at core. We have creation where we have acquired health systems. We have created Livongo, for example, from scratch. And we have CVF, which is a customer value fund where we invest in cohorts without allowing founders to dilute for their growth. And we have just recently set up the GC Institute, which hopes to shape policy and initiatives by being partners with governments and helping them understand and internalize some of these transformational AI and technology. With this suite, the way we are thinking about is not a short term and not just limited by investments and outcomes, but truly being able to make a mark in helping industries that can be GDP moving in each of our local spaces. And the reason that the merger happened also was the realization that how can you get on-ground intelligence and combine it with this global network and power.
All right, Priya, you know, we're completely out of time, but thank you so much for joining us on the show and sort of telling us what the investment thesis will be with this big new fund for you.
Thank you for having me.